You're listening to Mr. Credit on San Diego 1700 with local credit expert Derek Evans. Now, live in studio, Mr. Credit.
Welcome to Mr. Credit. We are live and local here in San Diego on 1700 AM, soon to be the home of ESPN Radio in San Diego. Save the station in your dial right now. We're bringing you the most important hour in radio, and we're telling you everything they don't want you to know. Of course, when we say they, we mean the Wall Street gangsters, the government, the big banks, the credit bureaus, the media, debt settlement companies, of course, healthcare industry, or anyone else who's trying to get at your hard-earned money by deceiving you or getting you to spend it unwisely. Visit MrCreditRadio.com if you want to send me an email or give me a shout, or do a Facebook search for Mr. Credit, and you will find me there. Before we dip into the Padres today, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest. We've got Zephyr Hill with Goldberg Jones here in Mission Valley in San Diego, 1-800-DIVORCE. Zephyr, thank you for being here, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Let me give you a quick applause, brother.
Definitely my pleasure.
We're going to have some fun today. Now, you and Goldberg Jones, you guys are helping me with my divorce. I came to see you. You guys are working on my case. Everything's going great. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I also know that you went to the Padres game last night, correct?
Indeed. Good win.
Yeah.
Last two, I was there for the Friday win and then last night's win. So
can we get you to go today?
I'm going to have to. I might have to.
Is there any way we can con you into that? I think we might be able to squeeze you in. There's going to be a big radio party there. There's no room for Mr. Credit. But we might be able to get you in there, buddy. You're more important. So, we were looking at this. I want to go ahead and just jump right on this because it's one of these really interesting situations. You don't get to talk about this. I mean, it's like this huge, long season for baseball. The 160 games. We're 158 games in right now. And we got 4 games left. So the Padres are 2 games out. It starts to get complicated for people who don't understand baseball. They're 2 games out of the National League West lead, so to win the division and get into the playoffs, but only a game and a half out of the wild card. So we've got Philadelphia has clinched in the East. Cincinnati has clinched in the Central, but in the East, Atlanta we're in a battle with them for the wild card. So the bad news about last night is kind of that, well, these 2 teams had already won going into the game. So talk about must win. I mean, it was absolutely must win. We went and we got it done. So we have to give them, a little bit of props there. But at the same time, it starts to get tough to have to root for wins on the Padres side and then root for losses on the other end. So here's what we got going on. Atlanta is going to be at home against Philadelphia for their last few games of the year. We have one more game today against Chicago, who we should be able to whoop up on really easily, but we've had a tough time with them. And that's the good news for us. The other good news / bad news is that we have to play San Francisco the last 3 games of the year in San Francisco. No question we're going to be down when we go there. Best case scenario, we're a game behind, so which means that we'd have to take 2 out of 3 just to tie. So it's a really interesting situation. Tell me what you think. What are you feeling?
I don't think we can sit back and wait for any losses.
No.
Philly's in. They don't care if they beat Atlanta.
That's the thing.
That's tough. And, if we win, we're in. So what the heck? So
you think Philly's going to go lay down to Atlanta, division rival, like that?
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And it's in Atlanta. I mean, you got to think that they're going to be playing hard there.
All I know is that Philly and Cincy, for that matter, just look tough.
That's true.
But they're in, so they might lay down, and I hope they don't. I hope Philly goes in and whoops up on the Braves. That'd be great.
The Braves have a lot going for them. There's no question about that, and we have a lot. We're kind of working against us right now. There's chemistry issues. Our better pitchers are kind of falling off. But I've had a bad feeling, and I've been telling people the season's over, and I shouldn't do that. But, it's just in my heart, that's what I feel, and I'm just used to just shooting it straight. So I just had this bad feeling, but I'm still hoping. So you're saying there's a chance. I'm still hoping because there is a chance. There's 4 games, we're only 2 behind, so it could happen. But we have to win. Nothing beyond a win is acceptable at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, it'd be a riot for the fans and for the city just to have a few home playoff games here.
That would be great.
And I think you're saying I don't think we're even going to make it. I think anybody who thinks we are kind of knows deep down we're not going to win the first series.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not. We're not going to go deep into the playoffs. It's just not going to happen.
But if we can just get there, it's it's a totally different atmosphere. Just be nice to have a couple of games here, playoff games in San Diego, especially after leading the division all year long. To give it up at the end like this is going to really be a letdown.
Wow, that is brutal.
But if we can at least squeak in, even if it's a wild card, then it kind of makes it okay, and it brings this level of excitement, which we really need in San Diego. I mean, these are the type of things, the reason why you go to a game right now and there's 25,000 empty seats is because we haven't had things like this happen where we came back and we won and we got in the playoffs and we won a World Series. We haven't created that relationship with the fans where they're tied to us, where they know that we can do it. And if things like that can happen over time, I think we can build that fan base out. Of course, I'm talking 20, 30 years.
I was going to say, I think you're showing your age. We had some victories back in the 80s, maybe. When was Goose Gossage up there hurling that ball for us?
Well, that's why you do have at least 25,000 people there. Now, if you want to get the next 25,000, you got to keep this going because Tony Gwynn's been gone for a minute, and you got to get to the National League Championship Series, within this generation's lifetime, if you're going to want to bring people in, or just do something dramatic. It would have been boring if they just coasted in to win the pennant, but hey, that would have been just fine by me. At the same time, if we can squeak into the playoffs or do something significant here at the end of the season to get in, I think that would be awesome too. How about this story? Now, tell me what you think about this before we get into a bunch of law stuff, which I know you're dying to get into, and so am I. Tour champion Contador tests positive and suspended. So this is the guy, 3-time Tour de France champion Alberto Contador of Spain, tested positive for a banned stimulant while winning this year's race and has been suspended by cycling's governing body. The first thing that comes to mind for me is, who cares? It's cycling. I mean, you're going to talk about a sport that's extremely boring to watch. I'd rather watch golf all day long than even catch 5 or 6 minutes of the Tour de France. I'm just shooting you straight. I know there's cyclers out there, and I like riding a bike. I like playing golf. I like playing baseball, but I cannot watch cycling. I just can't watch it. And these guys keep testing positive. And it's like, really, guys? I mean, really? Come on.
I want the truth!
You got to do it the right way. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's one thing if you're a baseball player and you've got all these millions of dollars to play for and all these games to play. But if you're a bike rider, come on. What do you think, Zeph?
I'm not a fan that watches much of the cycling. I've got a buddy and a good attorney in the office who's a huge fan. So if there's any spare time, he'll be watching it online. He'll be talking about it early in the morning. And since it's around the world, you got to wake up early. It's like watching the British Open for a golf reference. You got to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and he'll do it. He loves it. And all I can think is, well, I love watching golf.
Yeah.
So I'm crazy too.
Sure.
So maybe if I was a cycler, I'd like to watch. But I assume they're prescribing to the theory: if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Well, my honestly, the way I feel about it is that it just has to be a level playing field. Like, I wouldn't mind if they said, hey, UFC fighters, you guys can use steroids, but everybody's going to do it. Then it would be fine. I just don't like it's the cheating part that bothers me about it. That people go in and cheat. And other guys are doing it the right way and they're not getting the limelight because of that. That's the thing that bothers me about it. Now, the thing with Lance Armstrong, didn't he? Honestly, once again, I just don't care. But I mean, he probably did. I mean, it was an amazing feat. And his buddy, the guy who got caught, who won it after him, said that he did. He probably did. I doubt that he would lie about that in that situation when really he was just trying to point it somewhere else. But at the same time, man, I just can't care that much. I thought it was interesting, though, that it's like, gosh, these cyclists, we keep finding they're all cheating. And it's like, this is just kind of how professional sports works. Everybody's looking for an edge. And if you say that it's illegal, then you're going to have just a few. The bad seeds are going to be the ones who rise to the top.
Is it me or have the people stopped cheating in Major League Baseball? Because we kind of got to the point where we said, hey, everybody's doing it. Mm-hmm. And then we moved on.
Yep.
People stopped. In cycling, like you said, they're still cheating.
They're still doing it. Well, in baseball, you notice this year, like, one guy hit 50 home runs and that's it. And I mean, Alex Rodriguez only hit 30. So they either they're doing something to the baseball or these guys are realizing it ain't worth it. And I've told everyone from day one, since the McGuire situation, the way to handle that it's really simple. You go and you tell everyone, if you come clean right now, then we're going to forgive everybody for everything, but everyone has to come clean. If you do not come clean and we find out that you used in the past, you will be banned from baseball forever. And if you do that, then you can get it all behind you. But if you keep playing this cat and mouse, you put Roger Clemens on the stand, you're trying to ruin a guy's life, why do you think people are going to fess up? They're not going to. They're going to continue to try to hide it. So we have to be at least a little bit smart here. We can't just expect guys are going to come clean when they know the consequences are so severe. Just my opinion. Speaking of consequences not being as severe as most people think, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is really an amazing thing, and it really goes hand in hand with family law and divorce especially, which we're going to talk about a lot here shortly. And, the thing about that they don't want you to know about Chapter 7 is how good it is for you. And they don't want you to know that because if you knew that, then they would lose money and you would gain it. And that's the reason why I bring it to you so often, because you have to understand the reality is that this is a tough economic situation for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, myself included. And, it's something that we can't hide from. We have to look for solutions. No matter what problem it is that you have, there is a solution. And for financial problems, a very good solution for a lot of people is Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I recommend William McDonald with the McDonald Legal Group as the best bankruptcy attorney in Southern California. Trust me, I've gone through the process of the yellow pages and the meetings with all these different guys. I know what I'm saying. Not just because of my own personal experience, but because of all the people I've sent to William who come back raving about him. Look, if you have credit card debt, if you are having trouble making your payments, you have collections, medical bills, judgments, wage garnishments, anything that's causing you financial stress, call William McDonald's office today for your free consultation. 858-437-0103. Tell him Mr. Credit sent you. 858-437-0103. Become debt-free. And you know what? You can even have a higher credit score. It only takes about 100 days. When we come back, we're going to have more with Zephyr Hill from Goldberg Jones, and we're going to talk a little bit more sports. We're going to have some other stuff that they don't want you to know on Mr. Credit Radio, San Diego, 1700.
If you have questions about your credit, call 858-673-4299. That's 858-673-4299 to speak with Mr. Credit, or go to MrCreditRadio.com.
Showbiz, okay, get your kids, but then they got their friends. I pulled up in the Benz, they all got a bin. We all went to den, and then I had to pay. If you f***ing with this girl, then you better be paid,
Are you sick and tired of just barely making the minimum payments on your credit cards? Do you have any idea how many years it will take for you to pay them off? Hi, Mr. Credit here. If you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, listen very closely. Filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection could allow you to eliminate all of your credit card debt, and typically only lasts about 3 months. Most likely, your credit score will go much higher afterward. The only person I recommend you speak with about this is William McDonald with the McDonald Legal Group. Call him right now, 858-437-0103. That's 858-437-0103. A 90-day late payment on a credit card will hurt your credit score as much as filing for bankruptcy will. So stop living paycheck to paycheck and call William right now for your free consultation. 858-437-0103. That's 858-437-0103.
This is Lisa with the McDonald Legal Group. We are a debt relief agency. We help people file for bankruptcy relief under the Bankruptcy Code.
I've worked with plenty of different mortgage companies in San Diego, and while there are some who do a great job, there's only one that I can say is truly the best in the business. The Craig Sewing Lending Group provides an experience and expertise in real estate financing that is absolutely second to none. I've known Craig for a dozen years, and I know you would be satisfied working with him. Call 888-880-9500. That's 888-880-9500, or go to craigsewing.com if you're interested in buying real estate in Southern California. It's also worth considering the terms on your loan if you already own property. Rates are at levels that just absolutely boggle the mind right now, and chances are you could save some easy money here. Call Craig Sewing today, 888-880-9500, and tell him Mr. Credit sent you. That's 888-880-9500, or online at craigsewing.com.
The Army and the Air Force are here to protect the citizens of the country. They protect the land, air, and sea to make sure you are safe. The men and women of the Army and Air Force are here for you, and they will do everything they can to make you safe. This message was brought to you by the federal government.